So this is part 2 of the previous video where I debunked why America is not systemically racist, and I think I proved it. If you disagree with me, I'd love to know why, hear from you, and talk about it, but I don't think you're going to be able to present me with any viable facts that will prove otherwise, because it's not a systemically racist country. Now, this video is meant to tell you more about why they control the world, how they control the world, because they do, and that's why I'm suing them. And I also recognize that I pale in comparison in size, finance, power. If you took every grain of sand from every beach in the world and made a pile and took one grain out of it, I'd probably be that grain in size comparison. But I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. What they don't know is that in fighting spirit, tenacity, and the fact that I love my country enough to never give up and go away, I'm the bigger pile. So, I'm going to do a couple things. You already know I'm suing big tech. Facebook, Amazon, Google. I'll sue every single company out there if I have to, if that's what it takes to get our First Amendment right back, because that's literally the cornerstone of America, being able to say what we want and express ourselves. Without that, we have nothing. George Washington told us that if they hit free speech, that will be led to the slaughterhouse, deaf, dumb, and blind like sheep, and that's around about what he said. It's not a literal quote like Joe Biden tries to do when he screws it up every time. I'm just paraphrasing. But it's true. If they take that, they take it all. So I'm here to stop that. I'm also here to tell you that I'm going to run for office. I don't know which one I'll run for. I have to determine where I'll be the most help. You might think, oh, he's going to run for office. He doesn't know which office he's going to run for. Well, this is kind of uncharted territory. I have to determine where I can be of the most assistance to the American people, to myself, to you, to Democrats, Republicans, to everybody, because this is not a partisan issue, by the way. This is an American issue. America has the Constitution. America is controlled by the Constitution. America abides by the Constitution. America is free because of the Constitution. So that's what I need to go by. And that applies to all parties. So I'll fight for your right to be an idiot and turn your back on the American flag when the national anthem is played at the qualifying hammer throwing rounds at the Olympics, just as hard as I'll fight for my right to call you a freaking moron for doing it. That's just how it works. You turn your back on the flag, you're an idiot. You do it while you're competing on behalf of the United States, you're a hypocrite and an idiot. And you're also wrong because it's not systemically racist, and you're not a social justice athletic warrior or whatever the hell you call yourself. You're just a moron. There you have it. Free speech. No one's getting hurt. You're just a jerk. And you're setting a bad example too, which is something else to think about. But you won't, because there's zero introspection among people like that. But anyway, Facebook, for instance, they suppressed all the information about China, Burisma, the Ukraine, all the shady business dealings that Hunter Biden did and gave his father kickbacks. It's all in emails. It's all been proven. Not being looked at. That's the difference between, proving it in a court of law and having the actual physical evidence like the laptop and the computer and actual record of what happened. I don't think we need to go to court to prove that Hunter Biden is a complete mess. I mean, the guy smokes Parmesan cheese, which is not illegal. It's just strange. He smokes crack, which is illegal. But I would say that I understand that because I understand addiction and recovery. And the hooker thing is just immoral, bad, and also dangerous because you could get sick and die. But the fact that his father continues to cover this stuff up is the larger problem. There's an uneven application of justice, which is not okay here in America. So they suppressed all that information on the big social media platforms and across the internet and the mainstream media because they knew that if you knew as voters, there would be a large percentage of you that would not vote for Joe Biden as president. So they hid it. And then they fluffed up all the stuff that looked good. They hid his cognitive decline. They hid the fact that he's basically senile, that he's going downhill very quickly. They hid it all. They made him look good, like this devout Catholic family man. And then he gets elected and boom, abortion, human rights abuse at the border. He's taking away jobs. Catholics don't do that stuff, so he's not a Catholic, all right? I know that's not my call, but that's my opinion. If you support those things, you're not a Catholic. I don't care if you argue with me. Go ahead. Anyway, so they do that, And then they sway the opinions of people, which sway the results of the election, which have been found to be well within the margin of, we would have had a different outcome if the general public knew about the criminal activity and basically the history of the Bidens. They would have also known the fact that Joe Biden has been like one of the most racist politicians in Washington. He voted against the desegregation of schools. He didn't want that. He didn't want his kids going to school with blacks. So think about that for a second. So we need to get rid of the politicians that are allowing this to happen. Now, I will say this. There's some politicians, like Governor DeSantis and Senator Rubio. Senator Rubio, actually, before I got into this whole political thing, helped me get my advertising company republished because he knew what they did was wrong, and it was for no reason. Even that they deplatformed me. I had a 5-star rating on their platform. It was ridiculous. But they hurt my business. They cost me money. I had to hire lawyers. I lost business contracts. It was a mess. But he swooped in and helped because he saw the problem. But these guys are vastly outnumbered. They can't fight this fight alone. So we need to get the people out of Washington that are letting this happen and get people in who will do something about it. That's why I say I'll run for office. I just need to be directed in the right direction. Okay? AOC was a bartender. She doesn't know the 3 branches of government. I mean, I don't even think she knows that there's a left and a right sock. I'm just kidding. Is there a left and a right sock? There's got to be a little room for humor. She doesn't know anything, is what I'm saying. If Ilhan Omar, someone who's totally anti-American, anti-Semitic, completely racist at her core, hates America, is allowed to be in Washington making decisions, I think I could do something. And I'm here to tell you that I will. Because I'm not going to let up on this effort to fix America and help everyone get back on this. Hey, it's not Black Pride, it's not Black Lives Matter, it's not Mexican Lives Matter or Honduran Lives Matter or Latino Lives Matter or Gay Lives Matter or lesbian. It's American Lives Matter. Let's try that. How about that? Because America is all-encompassing. The only person that looks American is Chuck Norris. Other than that, you don't know if someone's American or not based on the way they look. Like literally, Chuck Norris is the only person I know that looks American. So, until next time, I say I'm going to continue to fight for your rights no matter what the cost may be. And God bless America. That's how you end a speech, Biden. With God bless America, especially if you're president.